Bloodborne is a game where you can screw things up big time, from locking yourself out of a side quest for the rest of the game if you kill an NPC or defeat a certain boss, getting stuck with an underwhelming build since there is no respec option, to wasting all of your vials and having to farm for them each time you want to retry a boss. In this video, I'm bringing you 5 horrible decisions you can make in Bloodborne, with most of them being very personal and not so popular. Let's get to number 5.
What the fuck?
Fighting the Sage from the Chalice dungeons without a fresh pair of boxers or knickers. If you want to find out why Bloodborne is partially a survival horror game, you don't have to visit Upper Cathedral at all actually. Just go to the Chalice dungeons and... Oh, you're already fucked. See how fast that thing latched onto my hunter? It makes no sense since my body was still shaking and recovering from that hellish scream. I've been playing survival horrors ever since I was 8. Cry of Fear, Resident Evil, Darkwood, Area 51, Silent Hill, nothing, and I mean nothing can prepare you for that thing. The combination of that face, that long hair, those screams and how fast it runs. Imagine that shit in real life. You look at it staring quietly at you from afar and out of nowhere it starts running towards you like an Olympic athlete. You know what? Don't ever imagine it, and let's move on for Christ's sake. Number 4. Earning millions of blood echoes, going to Hunter's Dream with tricked Chikage and taking a pee pause. Look, all blood-tinged massive Chad-like creatures have been there, okay? Nothing to be ashamed of. Any Chikage user who denies this is an imposter and a bad liar. Just look for his pool of blood next to the gravestones. It's either caused by a bloodletter L1 spammer or some AFK fool with a katana in its days of the month. Most likely the latter. It's especially hilarious when your Jormungandr Jr. takes so long to empty its bladder that your character has time to die twice. But this time, you're not a shadow. You can only die once. Jesus fuck, my jokes suck, sorry! Dying twice means you lose all of your echoes. That's what I wanted to say. Number 3. Bring in the vagabonds to the cathedral.
Would you know of any safe havens?
There's only one thing worse to Bloodborne's NPCs than being a superficial bastard and sending them to Yosefka's clinic, and that's being eaten alive by the abhorrent beast. In Forbidden Woods, there is a vagabond who seems very polite and friendly, but with some careful observation you'll see that he is standing next to a pile of dead bodies. And if you don't talk to him, you also notice how he's having the feast of his life. Here's a life hack. Don't trust cannibals. Pointing him towards the cathedral will kill every NPC you've sent there, one by one. Being turned into chubbly wobbly aliens doesn't sound so bad after all. They even get to chill at the clinic for the rest of their lives with their kind. What else would they want? When you see this guy, finish him on sight. And by finishing him on sight, I guess the best idea is to throw poison knives at him from where he cannot reach you. What? Are you mad? Look at how small that roof is. It's not ideal to fight that thing there. Which is especially noticeable if you bring him to the cathedral, where there is much more space and the fight is 1,000 times more manageable. The worst thing about it is listening to the Dweller feel bad because he couldn't protect the citizens brought in by the Hunter. It's enough to make a man cry.
Well, I do know. It's my fault. Oh my...
Subscribe if you would like to taste a blood burger with some blood juice and some bleeding fries. It's not ketchup, I swear. Number 2. Attacking Djura. Djura is a hunter you can encounter in Old Yharnam. Trespassing his boundaries will earn you the honor of getting filled up with holes by his Gatling gun like you're 50 Cent. Thing is, you're kind of the monster here actually, not him. The beasts in Old Yharnam are sealed and are not a problem to the city of Yharnam. Those beasts were also people before turning, so Djura is actually trying to avoid unnecessary bloodshed by warning you that you should not continue.
Which is why I must stop you.
Don't worry, Djura. I'm on New Game Plus 6. I'm just sprinting through the whole area until I get to the boss. These beasts are as safe as they could be. At any rate, don't kill him. Visit Yahar'gul first, or Hypogean Jail, go around and get to Old Yharnam after Dark Beast Parl.
I'm in danger!
Speaking of which, I had completely forgotten how utter trash this boss fight is. I got killed by its AoE more than I can remember. Look at the damage of that thing. It sucks because if the wobbly camera was not enough, you have to be very careful not to overcommit while underneath him, because you'll 100% die if you're not wearing some bolt protection armor. Why didn't I wear one, you say? This game's alias is not Dripborne for the sake of it. I prefer to look cool and be weak rather than be well protected but look like a clown. Either way, sneak behind his rear and... This way, you'll be able to surprise Djura and tell him you're not actually a blood-drunken hunter, and he'll be your friend forever. Here are some more honorable mentions before mentioning number 1. Turn an alien hostile while fighting Hendrik. If you hit her enough times, you'll turn a not-so-simple 2v1 into a Royal Rumble. Of course, that had to be an option, am I right? It's not like the game is hard enough, it was also necessary to lock you out of one of the best side quests in the game and turn a strong ally into one more thing that wants you dead. This feature makes the fight very uncomfortable since you don't want to let Aileen die, otherwise she'll be gone forever. Plus, that woman is so weak in comparison to Hendrik that if you let her 1v1 him, you could say that she puts the soft in Fromsoft. You have to intervene or she dies, but you also don't want to get hyper-aggressive, otherwise you'll accidentally hit her enough times to turn her hostile towards you. It really sucks. Fighting the Crow of Cainhurst honorably. I haven't seen any community rankings of hostile special NPCs from the Soul series, but if I ever watch one, I expect the Crow to be at least top 2. It makes no sense how agile he is. Teleporting around Super Saiyan style with a hunter bone, his gun can kill you in 2 shots, even if you have high HP. He's got one of the hardest hitting weapons in the game in its tricked style, and he can heal. Dude, just lure him to the gate, and when he retreats, throw poison knives at him because this is ridiculous. Last honorable mention, using the Fists of Gracia. If you're not doing a Can You Beat Bloodborne only using the Fists of Gracia, why would you do this to yourself? It lacks style. I mean, it literally only has one attack. You cannot parry with it. It does insignificant damage, and since it's a melee weapon, it has shit range. This had to be an internal joke, like giving players the shields just for them to figure out how useless they were. It has to be. It's very good for interrupting enemies' attacks, but that's all. Why would you prefer this over getting a parry and a visceral? It makes no sense. And the long-awaited worst decision you can make while playing Bloodborne is trying to understand the story by yourself. Look man, as I said in my video reviewing Bloodborne, Miyazaki smoked some fat 3-meter tall laced joints while writing the script for that one. It was so green that even Kojima wanted a piece of that to share it with Matt Mikkelsen in one of their team building dinners. The story is incredible, there's no way of denying it, but getting to know every detail ever since the slaughter of the fishing hamlet happened until the end of the game requires a master's degree in unemployment. I love Fromsoftware stories, but I hate their storytelling. It's as simple as that. If you've made it all the way here, you deserve a thank you, comrade. If you've made at least one of the bad decisions, how about you click the like button and hit the bell to watch my soon-to-come Sekiro Revisited review? Don't worry, YouTube is not a Souls game. Here you can undo things that didn't work out well. If I ever disappoint you, of course. But it won't happen, right? Right?